You can speak and speak and speak, no impact.
Okay.
You can speak, and John the Baptist did a good job. He ended up losing his head. And
John the Baptist did a good job, and he ended up losing his head. Okay.
the mission ended there. Nathan did a good job, and he ended up saving someone's life. Some people have approached me. Why don't you do like Janani Luwum? The man did a great. The man was killed. So do you think I can make an impact by being killed?
General Sejusa responding to Kaziimba Mugalu. He says, Janani Luwum did not die in vain. His death led to the fall of Idi Amin. So his death liberated 30 million Ugandans at the time. John the Baptist's beheading was not in vain. It ushered in something mightier, Jesus.
You're watching Mordecai Marissa Live Political Commentary. Please consider subscribing to help grow Uganda's Voices of Struggle ecosystem. Thank you.
I cannot appreciate you enough for using your valuable time to always go on social media, break down things for people.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How are you? I hope you're having a good time. Mordecai Marissa here with more commentary about the disorder, the chaos, the madness, the entropy. I mean, use any time you want to use to refer to what we see in Uganda. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight I'm going to be talking about General Sejusa confronted him. General Sejusa confronted Kaziimba Mugalu, the Archbishop of the Church of Uganda, or the Anglican Church. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, Kaziimba Mugalu engaged in what could only be described as blasphemous actions when he ridiculed, mocked, belittled, demeaned the legacy of John Baptist and Janani Luwum. Both men, I'm sure he will never even come close to walking into that in their footsteps. But hey, he used his platform to say John wasn't a big deal. Janani Luwum didn't help at all. Now, it says something when those words come from a leader, a religious leader, to say, come on, Janani Luwum, a man we celebrate every year for his courage and boldness with how he confronted the Amin's criminal regime. I know, again, there's a few folks who want to engage in some sort of a revisionist history of saying Amin was a good man. No, Museveni is so bad to the extent that he makes you crave for Amin. But Amin was a bad leader, okay? That is out of the way. So, before I take you to what General Sejusa said, I think I need to show you here. First of all, he went on to say, he was like, oh dear. But before we go to that, let me sort of refresh your mind to what Kaziimba Mugalu. He's got a nickname on social media. I'm not going to be using it here. Let me respect him. But he's got a very funny name on TikTok or social media. Listen to what he said, then we go to what Sejusa had to say.
I am a person, I need life also.
Okay.
I have life to live.
Okay.
I am not a savior of the world to carry all your problems.
Oh.
You take them to the cross. I do my part. I leave them to God. I am not here to save you.
Pause and look at that face. That is fear talking. That is fear coming out of his mouth. He's afraid of what might happen. And he's going to tell us himself.
I choose and I follow what God leads me to say. And not everything is said publicly. No, let me tell you, I discovered the power of Nathan's approach than the power of John the Baptist's approach.
Now, again, I'm sorry for pausing here, but I have to point out that he used two great men from the Bible to despise one of them. He says he's using Johnny's approach, and if you watched my commentary I made immediately after this came out, I was able to show you how Nathan, whom he seemed to revere, confronted King David after King David slept with Bathsheba to the extent of killing Bathsheba's Bathsheba's husband, Uriah or Huriah, whatever. How do you pronounce that name?
You can speak and speak and speak, no impact.
Okay.
You can speak, and John the Baptist did a good job. He ended up losing his head. And
John the Baptist did a good job, and he ended up losing his head. Okay.
the mission ended there. Nathan did a good job, and he ended up saving someone's life. That's why we have Psalms 51. You can do God's work by approaching power with love, quietly, silently. You make an impact, but people were shouting and shouting, and they end up doing a lot of nothing.
He's referring to John. I mean, you can add the dots. He's referring to John the Baptist. He's shouting and shouting and end up doing nothing. That's blasphemy. And to really summarize the works of John by looking at how his life ended is utterly stupid, because you're not telling us how Nathan's life ended. We would probably be in position to get to your level of this kindergarten reasoning and be like, okay, how did Nathan die? But it doesn't really matter. John the Baptist died for the cause that you claim to stand on today.
Not every time that we use one approach. No. Some people have approached me. Why don't you do like Janani Luwum? The man did a great... The man was killed. So do you think I can make an impact by being killed?
And then he has people giving him a round of applause for saying, hey, Janani Luwum's mission was an exercise in futility because he was killed. Again, that's blasphemy. That should be stupid. I mean, he should be tendering in his resignation from his position and be like, hey, I'm not deserving to be in this position. But hey, we do not have that culture in Uganda. You can commit all the crimes there is in the world and continue being promoted, being protected actually by Museveni himself. So there's no remorse. There's not even a consideration, a shred of consideration of him quitting that position. So he laughs at Janani Luwum and John the Baptist.
And they say, Kaziimba also is a good man who was killed. Don't I have a family? Why don't you really be sensitive?
It's so funny. He says, why don't you really be sensitive? Says a man who claims to preach or to advance the message of a man who was killed at 33. He might be in his 60s. Jesus, the Christ, was killed at 33 years of age. But this man is so hell-bent on preserving his life to the extent that he would look at the idea of being killed for a cause, of standing in to the point of defying fear that you could be killed for that cause as a loss. Is he trying to make fun of Jesus Christ? I mean, you can look at it and that's the logical conclusion. If he looks at John and says, hey, for all he did, he ended up being beheaded, you could make the same argument about Jesus Christ. These are hypocrites, complete charlatans. These are liars. They are phony and fake. Okay, now let's go to what David Sejusa said to this gentleman. All right, I had it right here. Let me show you. David Tinyefuza. He wrote on his X platform and he was responding to Emmanuel Damba, and I'll have to go back and show you. So, David Sejusa writes and responds here. He says, I'm not blaming or judging the Archbishop. Again, I don't like this thing of some sort of virtue signaling. Oh, I'm not doing this. And he goes on to do it. Sejusa, it is okay. You can go on and blame him. You can go on and judge him. Sometimes blaming these people and judging probably could bring them to a point of realization, a point of epiphany. You don't have to always cover, oh, I'm not trying to blame you. Come on, okay. But I digress, okay. I had not wanted to dwell on this matter until Emmanuel Dombo raised it again. Some things are better left unpushed or undefended and let them be. This is one of them. The Lord Archbishop is my Archbishop, a man of God, and I hold him in profound respect. What is he doing here? In that respect, therefore, I do not hold him to same standards as myself, a minister, member of parliament, or even president, because he is Omutume, apostle of God, who sent those sent by God to shepherd his people. I'm an ordinary citizen. Again, how do we know that he's sent by God? Because we have, again, I'll tell you this, it is the Bible. I'm quoting the Bible right here. It says that the enemy transforms himself into an angel of light. So there's that only. It tells us that there's plenty of priests who are not, who are just scoundrels, who are thieves, but they pose as prophets, apostles, pastors, evangelists, name it. So, with his statements that shock the nation, I'm trying to question myself whether he's really a man of God. Then it says, therefore, there are things that the Batume can't say, even when they feel them or know them. Ndugu Emmanuel Dombo talked of when St. Peter denied Jesus. Yes, this was human, and Peter failed because of human flesh. But Peter immediately understood that his mission was not of humans, but of God. So he ran out, cried, and repented. As we all know, the next it came, he stood in Rome and was crucified for Christ. So what I reject is using failures of human flesh as gold standard to be emulated. The reason our Holy Father wear cassocks and hold holy scepters is because they are not meant to be like us. Those signify and symbolize sacrifice and service for the Lord. Now, I'm not a fan of those stuff they wear, and no offense to if you are religious, if you're Muslim, I don't think people should be wearing all that stuff, but for reasons I don't understand, I'm like, enjoy. But it says they dress that way to symbolize sacrifice and service of the Lord. Archbishop Luwum did not die in vain. His death led to the fall of Idi Amin. That is General Sejusa responding to Kaziimba Mugalu. I'm going to have to read you this one more time. This is General Sejusa responding to Kaziimba Mugalu. He says, read here. Janani Luwum did not die in vain. His death led to the fall of Idi Amin. So his death liberated 30 million Ugandans at the time. John the Baptist's beheading was not in vain. It ushered in something mightier, Jesus. If a general walked to his troops before battle, wearing that sword of valor, and proclaimed to the troops that he would not go with them to battle because he feared death and he had a family, he would be relieved of command immediately, court-martialed, and and this says, just let it pass. Then he goes on to post this, this is how Kaziimba Mugalu dresses. Ladies and gentlemen, Tinyefuza went on to post this. This is how Kaziimba Mugalu dresses. He's trying to say that if, again, read here, if a general walked to his troops before battle, wearing that sword of valor, and proclaimed to the troops that he would not go with them to battle because he feared death and he had a family, he would be relieved of command immediately, court-martialed, and fill in the blank. You know what he means. That says, just let it pass. So, General Sejusa is pretty much saying, guys, of the Anglican Church, the Church of Uganda, you have to hold this guy to account. And the best thing you can do for the folks who are members of that religion is to relieve him of his duty. That's what he's saying. Or he's saying, Kaziimba Mugalu, please resign. Just resign immediately. That was extremely, extremely embarrassing. Okay. Now, I'm not done here, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be funny for you. When Kaziimba Mugalu went on to say these words, I'm a person, I need a life also. I have life to live. I'm not your savior to carry all your problems. You take them to the cross. I do my part and leave it to God. I'm not here to save you. Archbishop Kaziimba tells critics. Guess what? Isaac Semakadde, the president of the Uganda Law Society, said, read yourself, Komanyoko. After Kaziimba Mugalu said, hey, I'm afraid, please leave me alone, I can't do it. Isaac Semakadde was like, Komanyoko. Oh my God. And then you have Kasumba here trying to be, always me showing his, says a brave man who ran away. And then there's some sort of a diatribe he launched later that day, but I won't go into that. This was Jimmy Spire Sentongo mocking Kaziimba Mugalu. Brethren, the truth will not set you free. Of course, misrepresenting the words of Jesus Christ. And Jesus Christ on the cross goes like, what? Brethren, the truth will not set you free. And Jesus on the cross is like, what? He's almost jumping off that cross. That was a perfect cartoon, because that's what pretty much Kaziimba Mugalu was telling his delegation or his audience, the congregations, like, do not stand for the truth because they will kill you. Jesus knew he was going to be killed. He had a family, he had friends, he had disciples, but he died regardless. He died for what you claim to stand on right now. Oh my God. All right, ladies and gentlemen, what else did I want to show you? I think that's it. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. That is General Sejusa responding to Kaziimba Mugalu. Kaziimba Mugalu, what Kaziimba Mugalu did is really indicative of the political environment in Uganda, where people are extremely afraid to speak out because of what might happen to them. That's where we are. And it was after this gentleman, then you had Anita Amon coming out to say, hey, I won't be president. I don't want to run for president. Please leave me alone. Don't cause me trouble. I'm actually planning to resign or retire from active politics in 2031. That's what she said. This, how entrenched, it shows how entrenched power. I mean, it is unbelievable to hear all these kind of statements coming from leaders, Speaker of Parliament, to announce he was sending signals to the Museveni corrupt family that, hey, I'm not in any way trying to challenge you. Sad. And then after that, then you have Kaziimba Mugalu saying, I am better than John the Baptist. I make better decisions than John the Baptist. Can't you see me? I'm still alive and John the Baptist was beheaded. It is stupid. It is blasphemy. But that's where we are. Our country needs to be saved. And there's nobody that's going to save our country apart from us turning to the Lord and say, please, Father, empower us, guide us, and let's get to work. It will work out. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for now. I thought I would show you that. Let me know what you think down in the comment section. See you.
Did you enjoy what you just watched?
I'm sure they did.
I'm going to guess that you did. How about you consider subscribing to Mordecai Marissa Live YouTube channel? Thank you.